Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beauty and Violence podcast. We're going to discuss the playoff of events coming to us. We're a little late. We apologize. But let's do it, guys. We have Max Holloway and Cater.
Yeah.
And I'm a little flustered because I just learned my guys fighting on that card. But take us away, Steve. Max Holloway, Cater. Let's talk about it.
Max Holloway, Cater, man, that's a dogfight right there. Both of those dudes are like super, like determined. Max Holloway is coming off a loss, so he wants to prove himself again as a champion, longtime champion. But then you got Cater, who wants to like prove his spot, like take his spot in the division. So, and damn, that's a tough fight because I feel like it's a tough fight for Max because Cater has like a reach advantage. Plus, I think he's probably a better boxer, which is the range that Max Holloway likes to fight in the most. But that being said, I think Max Holloway will still probably edge that fight because of his just. I think he's a better overall fighter. What do y'all think?
My worry always with Max Holloway has been his like aversions to evolve and use everything in the octagon. We know he has everything. We know he's capable of wrestling if he wants to. We know he's capable of jiu-jitsu when he wants to, but he seems to only want to use his hands. It's like he's destined to join Erwin Rivera in the CTE community. I don't understand, bro. It's like, and that was a bad joke. I shouldn't have said that joke. Right? Too soon? Too soon? But it's just jokes, people. But my worry is that he's just going to do the same thing he did against Poirier and all of them, is that he's just going to want to throw hands. Whereas I want him to start using everything else. It's like, this is MMA, bro. We know you got it. Yeah. And I want you to freaking use it, man. And that's my worry. If he's going to just use his hands and nothing else, Cater might do it. Cater might do it, man.
Yeah.
And now I'm worried because y'all know Max Holloway's like my cousin that I never met. So,
yeah. What y'all think?
Chris?
Yeah, you know what? I might have to agree with John there. I don't see Max kind of changing his game plan. He seems kind of hittable. I like the volume striking. Maybe if he overwhelms Cater, he might, edge out a decision, but it just doesn't seem like he evolves. I just think he's he's not going to use anything else in his tool belt. I think he's just going to strike. And I think Cater's going to, out decision him just with more significant strikes. I just don't think we're going to see Max do anything different.
Well, now here's the thing about it, right? If you watch Max's last fight, the guy he fought, Volkanovski is a really great overall striker. Mixes it up well, striking, wrestling, everything. And Holloway stood his own in that fight. And so I do think that Holloway has better overall striking skills and maybe a higher fight IQ. But Cater's hands, it's something to be afraid of, He has power, he has speed, he has great technique. So it's going to be a tough battle for Max Holloway. But I do think that Holloway is going to be able to just use his veteran savvy to find a way to win.
And Cater is also not afraid to mix it up. He will. He's happy to do it. But also, I agree that Holloway has a high fight IQ, obviously. Problem is that get hit in the head enough and things start to change. And it seems like he's kind of shut down on that for some reason, It was remember that scare a couple years ago where Bisping noticed he was slurring his words and all that shit?
Yeah.
We was all like super worried because, Max Holloway is MMA's baby. He's like MMA's nephew. We all love that dude, And we was all worried and stuff. And just seeing how it's almost like he's just shuts down during the fight. He just wants to throw hands and it's a backyard fight, which is all good and dandy, but not when you're talking like a champion. When you're talking like you want your belt back. Can't do that, man. Not in this top realm. Because these are bad boys up here, man. And I really do not want him to go on a 3-fight lose streak. I think that'll be terrible for him. Terrible.
Yeah.
Especially the way Dana's chopping the block. It's like, good thing is Holloway's young, so he might not be on Dana's radar with that. But I think it all depends on like everything else. It all depends on a certain thing, and that's him and how he's going to come into this fight. If he's just going to throw hands, I agree with Chris. Like, I think he can easily overwhelm Cater, and Cater might not know what the fuck he's going to do. He might just be like, "Oh shit," and then he just could. You never know. But all you have to do with a guy like that is weather the storm. The problem, I mean, Holloway Storm never fucking ends. So that's a different story. As you saw with Ortega, as you saw it like Dustin, it never fucking ends. Dustin beat the shit out of him, and he didn't stop. Like, didn't stop. It was almost like he wanted to die in that ring. It was crazy. So it all depends on what Holloway wants to do. Does he want to mix up, or does he want to just do it? And if Cater's up to the challenge of that Storm, it's an excellent fight. Don't get me wrong. No matter what Holloway decides to bring in there, I still see Holloway with the edge. I think Holloway generally is a better fighter. I hate using that term, but I think he's just a better fighter.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, like real quick, I was gonna say that Holloway fought toe to toe with Poirier, who's a bigger guy than he was, and stood his own.
Bigger, stronger, and look like fucking Canelo with the fucking hands. He looked insane in that fight, man.
So overall, to me, Holloway has fought tougher competition. If you look at all the guys he's had to beat to get to the top, so I think Holloway gets it done.
And and just another thing, if Holloway just wants to use his hands still, I want him to be more tactical. Like guys like Adesanya and Conor McGregor, when you come in and out and you're avoiding, you're weaving, like he's a brawler. If you look at Holloway's style, he's really a brawler. And I just want more. I want him to be in and out more. I want him to and it just he did an interview and he said that his training camp for this one wasn't much different than the last one. That he didn't do much physical contact. And I'm like, that's not good. That is not good, especially in this sport, man. You need all those minds around you, and you need drilling every single minute of every day. That's how you get it done.
But I think he looked a lot sharper the second time against Volkanovski. Like I thought like he was way more on point. He dropped him twice. He dropped him once with a head kick and then once with an uppercut. So like I thought maybe he was bullshitting us a little bit.
Or Volkanovski's just that good. He just can't. That dude is a beast.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we're so it's so on the fence because both these guys are savages. You have one that has been a champion. He's super questionable on how's he gonna come in, and his training camp is a little light, as he says, as he so puts it. And you have Cater, the guy who you don't really hear much about what he does outside of the cage in a sense, but when he comes in there, that dude comes to play. So I think that's what makes that fight so compelling.
That fight you also got to analyze the way they fought against common opponents. So what's his name? Cater starched that guy, the bully Lamas. He starched him. He starched Jeremy Stevens. He at a certain point, he was moving forward on Jeremy Stevens, and usually Jeremy Stevens makes every fighter in front of him look like a bitch, even if they're winning. That's what I'm saying. But he bitched what's his name, Jeremy Stevens. So it's
did he fight him after Holloway or before?
After Holloway. But what's his name was still durable. He's not a guy who had really been finished like that. He got finished with a body shot the last time I remember, but not he wasn't one of those CTE ridden guys,
Oh yeah, Cater KO'd Lil Heathen in his last fight. Lil Heathen's last fight. Best name in the business.
That's the name of the business.
He's on a real losing streak. Yeah, Lil Heathen's on a real bad losing streak. He's got 4 losses in a row and a no contest.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that he's still on the roster. I guess Dana White feels like he's still exciting, even though he's
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Mike Perry. They just Mike Perry's he's kind of insane, but when he gets the knockout like Lil Heathen, it's entertaining.
There's a difference. Jeremy Stevens is still there because Jeremy Stevens can still beat any of the top guys. That's
Yeah.
how good he is.
Yeah.
Mike Perry's still there because he's like the circus clown and we all love him and he's funny. Yeah, he's getting old. He might retire soon, but he's hilarious. You know, that's why Perry's there. We all love Perry. I'm joking on him, but you know, like if you see this, I love you. But
He's at your door.
he's like everyone kind of knows he ain't gonna be a top 5 guy ever.
Yeah.
No.
We all thought he could have been when he was busting dudes up in the beginning, but then I don't know. But he's still fun.
Speaking of which, like I feel like there's certain fighters who don't even get a chance to like reach their full potential because they catch so much damage like early on. Like you understand what I'm saying? Like you got I think he's an example of that. I think what's his name? Rory McDonald is another example of that. You know what I'm saying? I think Rory McDonald could have, like, if he developed more, if they built him slowly, I think he could have been like a pretty like good champion.
I agree.
Rory
He
McDonald
was supposed to be the next GSP when he was fighting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
But
that's
still, that fight with him and Robbie Lolo was amazing.
so that's like my top. That's like my
Amazing.
probably second favorite fight of all time.
That's like that picture at the end of the 4th round of them just staring at, not even going to the corner, just staring at each other with their faces leaking. That is one of the most iconic pictures in MMA history. And it's not because of the brutality of it. It's like our podcast name. It's the beauty and the violence. How both of these men are staring at each other and they're just dogs and they're like, I fucking love this and I love you and I'm gonna beat your ass the next round. Like that's the dog in them. Like that was, oh God. That's why we
remember,
do this.
remember Robbie Lawler? Remember Robbie Lawler with that split lip just shouting into the crowd? That was
I come here to fight. And I fight every time. Like,
that's his voice.
Crazy.
That's his voice straight up. Yeah, he turned Rory into Voldemort. Rory looked like he had no fucking nose. And no, it looked scary. He looked like a ghoul. Like I thought some like witchcraft was gonna follow that because he had no nose on his face and just blood.
He said Voldemort.
He
Jesus.
did. His nose looked like it got caved into his skull. That was that he looked crazy. Listen, Google that picture again of Rory.
It did.
That was gross, man.
It did. And that was the shit. They didn't care. They wanted that next round to come. That's the craziest shit. They were happy in their fucking chaos, and that was a beautiful thing. Terrifying and beautiful thing.
So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that at that after that, Robbie Lawler like came out on top, like because both of them showed like how much they were warriors at that point. But like to be the one to come out on top of that, that's like the ultimate pride. Right there.
It is.
Also, plus the fact that nobody was expecting Rory to be a dog like that at the time. Rory was that straight up tactician, everything had to be in order and this and that, blah, blah. And he gets on the mic and he's like, I love everybody. I don't want to, like he's just like a real chill guy. This guy went in there with a purpose, That shit was crazy. Man, so go ahead.
That's a crazy thing. He went in there with the purpose and still like Jim was talking about this. He was like, as a fighter, you could either get broken mentally, spiritually, or physically. So it literally took for his face to get broken like in probably 7 different places for him to stop like and just say, okay, you know what, that's it. Like because when you look at that, that's also just as iconic as the picture itself, like when they're staring at each other. Him falling from just not being able to take any more damage at that point. That's just as iconic. And then seeing Robbie Lawler come out on top of that is just, that was crazy, man.
And you see just a part of his lip flapping in the wind. That was just amazing. Amazing. I'll never forget that interview, man. Never.
Honestly, that is the beauty of combat, is that in the world of fighting, you get to really see who you are. You get to see every side of you tested. It's shown in there. You can't be fake in that world. You know what I mean? That's why I enjoy it so much, because it's so real.
That's why I fear a lot of guys on the come up that don't have those dog fights. Like in the beginning of your career, you should be going back and forth, getting your ass beat, doing this and that. Not necessarily losing, but you should be having dog fights. Like guys who are undefeated on the come up and barely have done anything, I get scared for them when they hit the top, because that top is scary. Those are dogs.
So that's a good thing to mention. That's why I was scared for Izzy
Yeah.
for so many of his fights. Like and then once he had that dog fight
Gaslam.
with Gaslam, I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, okay,
My
he's
man.
been dog tested.
You said the last podcast, you've seen his past fights. My man has been in fights. It's not like he's undefeated and like didn't have any real fights. He's been in
No,
fights.
in the UFC. You understand what I'm saying? Like
but that's different because he's been in fights before. He's lost. It may not have been in MMA, but he's lost. He's been knocked out. He's been in dog fights. So that's different. He's seen it. That's why he's so good at what he does in MMA and UFC.
Well,
You
I'll
know?
tell you one thing. Even though I think Izzy's been tested in the UFC and he showed us time and again that he can hang in there, he could be the champion, I'm still worried to watch him fight Jan at light heavyweight and potentially get sent to the shadow realm like the salamander, like Dominic Reyes.
Definitely. I would be lying. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about him fighting that blockhead dude.
I can't, bro. I was when I as scared as I was when he went face to face with Paulo Costa and he was about to fight him, I was legit terrified because we all know what and who Paulo Costa could be, you know.
Racer.
All right.
And the way he handled him was like,
yeah,
I have no fear.
Damn. So what other fights are you guys excited about? In that crazy week of carnage.
It's funny because just to stay on the same thing is we got our main event is two guys that potentially have a long career left ahead of them, and then the main co-main is just two old dogs trying to get it in. Condit versus Brown. You know, you understand if you follow Carlos Condit's career when he was on the come up, this was something that like we beasted for was this fight.
Yeah.
And now we're getting it as like two like Mike Tyson's legend boxing kind of deal. So I'm excited only because it's Carlos Condit. I love Carlos Condit. We both know neither of these men are gonna do anything, but it'd be cool. I mean, I'm not gonna talk shit. Could have like a potential movie out of one of these guys if they could make it, but I don't know. Condit versus Brown is cool. They're both two of my low-key favorite fighters back in the day. Carlos Condit was my favorite fighter at one point. But he had the sickness of no takedown defense behind him, so couldn't make
because
it.
he was piecing GSP up when he fought GSP. GSP's face looked like he got raped by a squirrel or something.
Jesus.
But
You're hanging out with Chris too much, bro.
Yeah. Like an army of squirrels.
I was the only person going for him in that. I legit thought he could have beat GSP if he could avoid that takedown, because there's no way you're gonna stop GSP's takedown. The best can't stop it. You damn sure can't stop it. So, but it's too much. I mean, he really needed to find a way to drill that takedown defense somehow. But I think it's too late. And we were talking about the other day, which is when you do it too late in your life, it's something that's like, especially wrestling, it's not something that's gonna come natural.
Yeah.
Because those guys will find a way to take you down no matter what. So I'm not like stupid, but the one before that, that's the return of Santiago Ponzinibbio, boys.
He's on that card, right?
Champion of the world.
He's on the Max Cater card, right?
He's right before Carlos Condit and
wow,
and Matt Brown. He's fighting Li Yingling.
Oh, the Leech.
That's gonna be a tough fight fighters. For him. Honestly, both guys, it's gonna be a war. Like that dude can take some punches, and that dude is also a very clutch fighter. Like sometimes, like I've seen him get beat down and just knock the guy out in the very last second of the round.
Better than anyone. Man,
I don't know why I can't say his name without thinking of the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. It was like, Jingling. I can't stop thinking about it.
In all honesty, I think Ponzinibbio is gonna like piece him up like really bad. Like,
he should. If he's the same Ponzinibbio, I'm sorry to say it, this should be an easy fight for him.
Did you see what Ponzinibbio did to Neil Magny? Neil Magny has looked amazing. Neil Magny was legit scared in that fight. Like he was legit.
He knew he had nothing for him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was reconsidering like his life choice, like to do MMA. Like I could see that. I could see it in his eyes.
Ponzinibbio is like the perfect connection to what I just said. Like when I was a Carlos Condit nut hugger, right? That was my guy. I knew, relax, Chris. I knew he was like Ponzinibbio was like 2.0 to me because this dude is a killer, but he also has wrestling. He also has all these different elements that he can bring. And I genuinely thought he was gonna be champion. The same way I wanted Carlos Condit to be champion, I knew Ponzinibbio could be champion. So I never actually looked up what happened to him. I knew back then, but I forgot. But I know it was a serious injury. And he had an interview recently. He was saying that, he thought it was going to take him out. He thought he wasn't going to fight ever again and this and that. So whatever he was going through was definitely serious. But I hope he's back to form because that dude, that will be the comeback story of the ages. That dude will have a movie made about him if he fucking comes back and wins this shit. Wins the way I believed he could have back then. It's a much different world. He's been gone for a little while. It's a much different welterweight world. This is scary.
That's crazy,
right? 2 years. It's more than 2 years since Ponzinibbio has fought.
Yeah.
Hopefully
and
he doesn't
just
have
those
ring
2
rust.
years, it's just become the most fiercest fucking. It's like he's a gladiator. And it's just a bunch of savages and you're fighting for your life every day.
Think about
everybody's
this.
just as skilled as you.
Think about this. In 2 years, Woodley is possibly not top 10 in that division anymore. In 2 years, possibly.
Yeah.
So
You said
if
Woodley
in 2 years, that's how much the division has changed.
Yeah.
It's possible that Woodley's not top 10 because you got guys like what's his name? You got Gilbert Burns, you got the champion, right? But then you also got Jeff Neal. You got Luque, you got
Colby Covington.
I don't
Covington.
even have Woodley as a top 10 right now, bro.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell you. In 2 years, the division has changed so much that Woodley's probably not even considered to be a top 10, and he was the champion 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how much the division has changed.
Word.
Wonder Boy's back up there. Wonder Boy's back in the conversation again. So
That's a fact, bro. Wonder Boy, bro. Oh my God, we got to get him back in there ASAP.
So is Masvidal.
Hit him.
Masvidal, I think, is ranked number 4 or 5 at welterweight.
Yeah.
Is he down?
8.
Is he down to 4 or 5?
He's in there somewhere. I think
he's. I mean, rankings don't fucking matter, but
no, it's what Nate Diaz is in there. That's hilarious.
I like Nate Diaz though. Huh?
So I'm trying to get Jason Knight on here for an interview. Jason Knight used to fight for the UFC, of course.
I know who that is.
Trying to get him on here for the interview. We're friends on Instagram. So Jason,
sucky.
keep your word. Yeah,
Jason, get over here, Jason. Get ready. Nah, but I got butterflies in my stomach, bro. That's my main event. Yeah, I know I love Max Holloway, but that's my main event. I can't wait for Ponzinibbio to come back. Bro.
Wait, Ponzinibbio's your main event over Mad Max and Cater?
You know I'm hyped for that fight, Brody.
Okay.
But Ponzinibbio coming back, bro. This is Max Holloway ain't going nowhere. He could get knocked out in 5 seconds. He's gonna be right back 20 days later in the next fight. He ain't going nowhere. Ponzinibbio, I want to see what's he gonna look like. Over 2 years battling a life-threatening injury, according to him. This is amazing to see him. A guy that I thought was gonna win the belt. That was my sleeper pick for the welterweight champ on the come up. I'm super excited. We got the knockout of the year guy, Joaquin Buckley.
Joaquin Buckley, he's on that card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he had another knockout after that Mortal Kombat kick, I believe.
Yeah.
We got Punahele Soriano versus Dusko Todorovic. I have no idea who these people are. I apologize.
Just make up a new language? What was that?
He pronounced it so well.
That's the first fight on the card.
He pronounced it so well that I thought that he actually knew them.
Yeah, honestly, that fight's gonna end very quickly. Somebody's getting KO'd.
Jim got the scoop.
He got the inside scoop.
Jim read the scouting report.
Unfortunately, guys.
Do you guys know what time? Do you know the main card starts at 3 p.m. and the prelims are noon?
Wow. Great.
On
Yep.
Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Saturday.
I think all of them do because they're on Fight Island.
Oh, they're giving us that Abu Dhabi time. Yeah, I think you're right. The Chiesa Magny fight. No, the McGregor one starts at 10 p.m. They ain't doing that Abu Dhabi time.
All right. So which fight do you want to talk about now? The Magny fight or?
Oh, by the way, like side note, are they official to fight Oliveira and Gaethje?
No.
I think it's just
Okay,
they're just talking about it. I don't know if it's
my
on the
God.
books yet.
That's such a weird, brilliant matchup.
I mean, it's if Oliveira, we all know Oliveira is not going to get the belt, the championship title fight right now because
Nah.
Dana has a hard on for Khabib to come back so he can. He's praying Conor McGregor gets through Dustin because that's the only fight he wants. He knows he's going to make fucking millions upon millions of dollars in that fight. So that's the only fight he cares about, even if it doesn't make sense. But then
Oliveira, he's
again,
getting shafted. He's getting shafted through and through.
if Conor McGregor starches Dustin Poirier, the argument can be made that it does make sense, you know, because Dustin Poirier has been like the top 3 contender for a while now, you know. So, and nobody starches Dustin Poirier like that unless you're Khabib.
Okay, just announced. Macy Barber versus Alexa Grasso main event February 13th.
I saw that.
My Macy.
Nah,
That was
listen, Macy. I believe she has the potential to be really. I think that she's a
100%.
next star, but Grasso is my girl, so I gotta go with her in this fight.
Also, Grasso's pretty hot too.
They both are. They're both candidates for the calendar.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Jem, reach out to them, see if they'll come on the podcast.
he's like, yeah, hey, reach out to them, man.
Yeah.
I actually will, you know.
I'll slide to their DMs. I'll see if I can make first contact.
No, I think Grasso would has the edge on that because Macy Barber is definitely going to strike with her. Right? Macy Barber is not going to be trying to wrestle Grasso, and Grasso has the hands of death.
Macy Barber's like a little Holloway though, the way she fights. You know, she's a volume striker. You know? She
No,
gets in
yeah,
there.
she does, but what's her name is just if she's gonna do like boxing kind of striking with what's her name, Grasso, that's gonna favor Grasso.
No,
I
of
don't
course,
know.
of course.
Macy Barber's got some knockout power. I think all her wins in the UFC are by knockout. She's got some power there. Was she a flyweight? She might knock out Grasso.
Listen,
Go
Grasso,
that
I've
far.
seen her old fights. She's Mexican and she has a good chin on her, so don't. She has a great.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'll tell you this. That's one of those like stepping stone fights for her. She wins that and wins it heavy. She's definitely fighting for a title.
Yeah.
In her near future, she's fighting for the title. If she does really well against this chick, because Macy Barber got injured in the last fight, right?
Yeah,
she
she fought Roxanne, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roxanne's actually fighting on Chiesa's card. I
Yeah,
think.
she is. Roxanne.
Yeah.
Please,
Vivian
Roxanne, don't strike with this
Araujo.
girl, please. Roxanne, just take her down, lay on her, please. Don't strike with her.
I don't know. I'm looking at Grasso. She hasn't won a fight that's not a decision since like 2013. She's like the decision machine. I don't know. That Grasso doesn't get me excited. She loses to Felice Herring. I'm sorry. She's not winning that fight. I know that's me.
Elise Herrick was another one of my little crushes too. She's a crazy one.
Hit her up.
Get on the podcast.
I think statistically, if you just DM every female MMA fighter, just DM them all. I'm sure one of them will hit you back up. Statistics.
Claudia might do it. Claudia's very down to earth. So yeah, she might do it.
Wait, you said Claudia?
Yeah.
Gadelia?
Yeah.
Oh, she ignores me all the time. I send her messages all the time. She doesn't
Really?
respond. Yeah, because she was in Colombia the same time as me. I was like, hey, what's up? We should link up. You know, we're both in Medellin, and nothing. Isn't that weird?
He said, she ignores me all the time.
Yeah, I send her DMs all the time. Nothing.
Yeah, my
you
friend
gotta-
trains with her. Yeah.
You got to
Friend
build it
actually
up.
Went to her gym, train with her, and she actually speaks to her a lot on Instagram. So they go back and forth. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, mention me, man.
Give me a shout out.
Mention me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go up to like, oh, Chris takes it really personal. My friend Chris takes it personal that you haven't hit him back up.
Yeah, it's like he's outside. He's outside your condo. How come you're not opening the door?
Tell her. Chris has been shooting his shot like Shaq on the free throw line, girl. Come on, get together.
Oh man, if Shaq sees, he's gonna whip your ass.
He knows. He knows he's the most beloved giant in the world, and he knows his free throw shot is terrible.
Nah, but what other fight we got?
Can we just talk McGregor Poirier, bro?
Let's do it.
It's just like
we're getting closer.
I'm damn near speechless, bro. Like I can't. I'm so much more excited for this than the Cerrone fight, and I was hella excited for the Cerrone fight, even though that was a terrible matchup for Cerrone. I mean, you couldn't have picked a worse guy to put Cerrone against. You got a guy who is notoriously probably the slowest starter in MMA in Cerrone, a guy that needs to like build up to that craziness, and then you put him against the fastest starter in MMA, the guy who will piece together the most precision, tactical, hardest striking you'll ever see right when the fucking bell starts. And then it's just like, that was a recipe for disaster. Like Donald Cerrone, his game plan should have been run the opposite direction for the first round until like he gets tired, and then second round try to come in, but that was a terrible matchup for Cerrone, and Conor looked fantastic. And Conor's been posting all these. I mean, Conor looks in shape like I've never seen him. The bald head tells me he's ready to kill another human being. I am so excited because if there's anybody in the striking department that can go toe-to-toe with this cat right now and the top guys, it's Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier's striking has developed in a way that I just can't even imagine. Not his kicking. His kicking don't even come in the same conversation as McGregor's.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he's been showing in his boxing is incredible. And if there's no fear of a takedown, Poirier is even scarier. So this is a great matchup on paper. This is a striker's delight in a sense,
I agree.
A rematch for the ages. Hopefully that first fight is not in the back of Poirier's head. We all know Poirier is a emotional guy here and there, and sometimes that can fuck with them. Conor's apparently going to be a lot nicer this time around. He's not talking shit.
I hope not. I hope he talks mad shit.
I mean, he's going to talk regular shit, but I mean, last time he was talking wild shit about Poirier. Like he had Poirier wanting to kill him and his family. Like Poirier was mad.
Yeah. But now something different. Like Conor has changed a bit. I respect the guy. So you're gonna say, he's gonna be like more civil, which is fine, not as entertaining, but
until him and Khabib fight again.
Yeah.
God, I did not enjoy that at all.
But I'm shocked they haven't done a press conference yet, like for a McGregor fight.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I mean they're gonna have fans there, so is there gonna be a press conference or not?
It's a tough one. I don't know. And as I found that strange there's going to be fans there. I mean, surprising that Dana's so against limited seating, and all of a sudden Conor McGregor's like, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
I need people screaming there. I love Conor McGregor's so important to the sport on so many different facets. It's like, even on something like that, you want me in there, you bring people, and that's it. And he has that pull,
Yeah.
He's so important in so many ways, as crazy as he is, and as entertaining as he is in the octagon. Outside of it, promotional-wise, he's so fucking important, bro. If there's ever going to be a time that the fighters get a union or fighters get whatever, Conor McGregor is going to be the one that has to lead the way.
I want to see him as champ again. I want to see McGregor. He's got the strap. He's talking mad shit. That's honestly, like, those days were always the best, especially when Conor got both belts.
It's a better world in MMA when Conor McGregor's around. And
he might not deserve it. He might not deserve the title shots, but you know what? Him with the strap is the most entertaining.
Well, Conor's gonna have to go through.
But not if he's not active. He has to be active.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like that's
why I
said
active is important. Go ahead, Jim.
Right. So like, is Conor planning on fighting more next year? I mean, this year, or he is?
According to him, remember the start of 2020, he was like, "This is my season. I want to be active and this and that." He's saying the same thing now. Like he's like, "This is it. We coming in hard. Like I don't give a fuck." Like he sounds like when he came to the UFC. That's what he sounds like when he talks. In every interview, every post, you could feel it. You feel the vibes of Conor. Conor wants to get back in there. You know.
Well,
I just don't want him to fight Khabib.
Habib, not only Habib, man. You got Gaethje. You got you got.
I'm
the
fine with
He-Man.
anybody else. Anybody.
Oliveira.
Yep.
Conor
Anyone but
fucks
Khabib,
them
right?
up.
To be honest, I think Oliveira is going to be a dangerous opponent. Like to me, he could be champion. He could be champion.
I told you that last
sure.
time. He's the dark horse in the division. Nobody's been talking about him. I told you that like 4 or 5 podcasts ago. We all talking about the top. I'm like, yeah, Oliveira's on like a 7-fight win streak at the time. I'm just like, he's the only one that was on a win streak in the lightweight division. The entire top 10 either lost their last fight or just won it. And none of them were on a streak, you know? And granted, most of them, their last loss was the champ, but.
So hypothetically, if what's his name, Khabib was to face Charles Oliveira, do you think there's a high chance of Khabib being submitted, being that he's going to be trying to take Oliveira down? Okay.
I could see that. It's possible. I think Oliveira definitely has a better shot than guys that are mostly strikers like Gaethje and McGregor, even Poirier. I think Oliveira, you might submit him. I could see it.
Unless Oliveira does what Rocky Balboa did and go to the snowy mountains of Russia and wrestle bears, he ain't going to do shit to Khabib.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's going to try.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I feel like Khabib is like, he's like freaking Muhammad or Allah combined or something. Like he's protected or something.
100%.
I don't think anybody's gonna be able to do.
Remember, like Rick James came with the aura and Dave Chappelle. That's fucking Khabib when he walks in. He said, "Give it to me, baby." It's crazy.
You want a prediction? How about this? So I think anorexic GSP is going to come down to 155 and pop Khabib's cherry. That's going to happen in 2021.
Anorexic GSP.
I think GSP Khabib is the most viable fight that's going to happen for Khabib. I think what's going to happen is he's going to sit down with Dana. They're going to talk numbers. He's going to say, GSP's the fight I want. Dana's going to go talk to GSP. They're going to be like, oh, yada, yada, yada. And they're going to fight at 165. And then Khabib is going to relinquish the title. And then Conor McGregor, winner of Conor McGregor Poirier, is going to fight probably the winner of Hooker Chandler. Because I know Dana's going to shit on Oliveira.
Or I was gonna say Oliveira Gaethje.
Nah,
if that fight.
you could see it every time someone asks Dana about Oliveira, he's so bored with it, which is insane to me because Oliveira is such a marketable guy.
He's very entertaining.
He's got an awesome personality. Awesome. He can talk his shit respectfully, and you can still get excited about it. He's a fun guy. And he's an assassin. He's evolving even to this day. With all the people he's fought, he's still evolving. He looks better and better and better. How can you not be excited about this cat? This is the guy you should throw your marketing campaign behind, because this is the guy. If there's anybody that's going to beat one of the anybody out of the top, that's going to. I think Oliveira, on your point, even though I say he's not going to, he has the best chance to beat Khabib out of all the top guys, in my opinion. Just because Khabib has never fought him, probably has never been pressured in the jiu-jitsu department, like Jem was stating. And these are problems he can pose for Khabib, and plus where Khabib's head will be at when he comes back and things like that. So I think out of the top guys that Khabib hasn't fought, I think he's like the only one. And I think he poses the biggest threat, especially if they put him against Gaethje. And imagine he starches Gaethje. Imagine he dominates Gaethje the way he did Ferguson. Jesus Christ.
He's got to get past that Homer Simpson right hook.
That Homer Simpson right hook.
Remember when Vic called him that?
I smell a dope combination coming. Dope! But I think, in my opinion, I think Khabib's going to talk to Dana, and he's still going to get rid of the belt. And I think it's going to be a super fight between him and GSP. It's going to be a legacy thing. Knowing Dana, if that would have happened, that's even grounds for another BMF style belt. Call it the legacy belt or something like that. They should just
make the 165 belt.
Titan belt, the David versus Goliath belt. Who the fuck knows?
They should use that to kick off the 165 division. Khabib versus GSP for the inaugural belt. That would be just have him vacated either have Khabib vacate the lightweight belt right before the McGregor fight, or he tries to defend both.
But the thing is also, remember, if the 165-pound division, you have to turn 170 to 175.
Yeah.
Just having 5 pounds
Just
in
give
between
him
is
5
going
more
to be
pounds.
too.
Just give him a couple more snacks.
No,
before
but
the
remember,
weigh-in.
you have a champion in that division. You have a lot of people in the division. There's a lot of shit that goes into it, yeah? We're not saying it shouldn't or can't be done. We all
They'll get
know
over
that
it.
should have been done a long time ago. But
These guys will have a less harsh weight cut, maybe, if they do it right. And then the guys that are too small for welterweight, guess what? You got a new division. I think they got to do it. They got to do the 165.
I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I agree. That should have been done a long time ago. The minute the schmo pressed Dana White at that press conference about it, and Dana was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" I love that's another iconic moment for me as far as press conferences go.
Oh, that's the best.
That was the first time Dana White ever heard the schmo. And the schmo is going, and he's like, "And we want the 165, man." And he's just going in. And after the question was over, they just like, "What the fuck just happened here, bro?" Dana was so confused.
You can't underestimate like branding like that. You know that he doesn't talk like that on a on a regular day.
All, yeah.
But like he uses that as his branding, and it just stands out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't underestimate.
It's like a Kobe Covington kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we all know he's good at his job. We all know he's good.
We made it.
But he had to create that. I love like when you see the skits like before he interviews, so it was somebody, I forgot who it was, but he was about to interview them. He tells them, he's like, I sound a little crazy when the camera starts, but just, kind of go with it. That's my thing. I think it was it Chael Sonnen? I don't remember, but he starts going off. Like they show the sequence before the camera goes on, and then he starts talking like the schmo, and you see he's like, he was like, well, that was fun. Like it was just, I love the schmo. And I love the schmo because beside the fact that he has that awesome fashion sense and he has that funny, bubbly person, he's good at what he does, He's really good at what he does. I love the schmo. But the way he pressed Dana and the way Dana was like, what the fuck just happened? That was hilarious. Hilarious. And then he just goes, no plans. Never, not doing it. It's just like, damn, Dana. Come on, bro. Not only all of your fighters, but all of your fans want it. I don't get it. This is a win. This is a fucking win, no matter which way you slice it. You now have an extra belt. All your weight classes up until middleweight are going to be 10 pounds apart, which is fantastic. I think 10 pounds, should be the minimum weight apart from each weight class. It shouldn't be anything less than 10 pounds. Not like boxing where you got 3.6 pounds or something.
Nah, until you start getting towards heavyweight, though. Like you think like a 225 division, that would make heavyweight.
No, I don't mean that.
Weak.
I don't mean that it should be 10 pounds. I'm saying that no division should be less than 10 pounds.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So you can have a wider range than that. I'm just saying, like, keep it at that. Don't make like a 170 and then a 175 and then an 80 and then an 80. Like that's too much.
Like boxing be doing like 3 pounds.
Boxing has like decimals now. They're like 3.7 pounds.
That's
so stupid. It's too much.
Now let's discuss Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz.
The Polish machine. You know what? Who was the one that said they're nervous about this fight?
That would be me.
Mr. Rose and Chris.
Let's
start you, Mr. Rose. Let's talk your hysteria. Go ahead.
All right. I think in every area standing up, Izzy's should be able to dominate. The problem is, what's his name? Blachowicz has that equalizer. He has that, he has power in both hands. So I feel like if he even like takes a good breath on Izzy in that fight, like, that could be trouble for Izzy but then again, I mean, I got to think about it though, because Izzy took a clean right hand from Yoel Romero, and didn't go down. So I don't know. Maybe I'm.
Have you ever seen Blachowicz's hands? You ever seen Blachowicz's hands? Shit's like crazy big, bro.
They're virtually identical.
Yo, I mean, I think Izzy's gonna win, but I'm nervous, just like I was nervous against Costa, against Whitaker. Like these are, like he's going up a division and he's fighting someone who's like just as, powerful, just as scary as any of those guys. So
yeah,
I think I was just looking at Jan, whatever his name is.
Jan.
He's old, man. He's going to be 38 this February. I think if he doesn't knock Izzy the fuck out, I think Izzy's just going to piece him up. I think Izzy's more technical. I think he probably has better stamina because he's just a younger guy. Honestly, I am scared Izzy might get knocked the fuck out. But Izzy comes in there, he fixes his titty, he's fucking got the right mindset. He's going to beat Jan.
He fixes his titty.
He gotta fix that shit. You can't have that shit on a pay-per-view. You gotta fix your titty before you come into the octagon. But I do want him to win.
He's gonna come in dancing like
they're gonna make him wear a bra when he fights in there.
Oh, man.
Look like an eye patch. Like just cover one titty.
Just a sling.
With the Reebok logo. Don't forget the Reebok logo.
We ain't getting no one we know on the podcast when we talking shit like this.
Have they switched over to Venom yet that you know of? I know Venom was supposed to take over the uniform.
Oh, that's a good question.
And that 2020 December was supposed to be last month for Reebok. I wonder.
You're not even sure.
We don't even know because we haven't. Imagine they don't even announce it till the fucking fight.
Yeah, fighters get that Venom coupon.
Yeah, but honestly, Jan, watching the fight between him and Reyes, when he hit Reyes and made him like do that chicken dance, like it wasn't a shot that looked that hard from when you saw it happen. That showed you how powerful he is. So he's faster than he appears to be too. Not saying that he's going to be able to be faster than Israel, but all it takes is one good shot. And
I agree.
And Israel can get hit. He's no matter how good your defense is, you're gonna get hit eventually in the fight. You know what I mean?
But to fight a man like Izzy, you need to fight at range. You
have
need to be able to close that.
That's
range.
the thing. That's the thing. I feel like Israel is gonna be able to pick him apart the same way he did to Costa. But
he's gonna fight him the same way he fought Costa.
Yeah,
same way.
But Jan is gonna be a little different.
100%. He's a naturally bigger guy, but I would argue that Costa has more tools than Jan.
Could be right. Could be right.
And Jan is great. Don't get me wrong. Jan is fantastic. But like Chris mentioned, his age. Jan is also a very tight fighter. He's not loosey goosey jump around type. He's just, you kind of know it's this tank refrigerator coming at you ready to destroy you. Whereas Izzy's going to be jumping back and forth. He's going to be in and out. He's going to be bobbing and weaving. He's going to be salsaing that guy. He's going to be like, it's I think it's a bad night for Jan. I honestly, I'll be real. I don't even think Jan touches him.
That's the thing about Israel, man. Like Israel, watching his defense, his fight IQ, the way he's able to shift positions, the way he's able to kind of see, engage, distance, and you can see him reset a lot. Like he would kind of like see what's going on and then reset his position. He's probably one of the smartest fighters. Probably has one of the highest fight IQs right now in MMA, in my opinion.
Not probably. I think he does. To be honest.
Yeah, I would say him, Shevchenko. People like that.
Shevchenko's a beast. Yeah, word.
Shevchenko's IQ. Her IQ is crazy.
She's so good at seeing things ahead of like what you're gonna do. She's so good at that.
What bum is she fighting next, Shevchenko? I mean, come on, like, maybe Andrade. That would be a great fight, but
I'm actually excited about that.
Andrade is the former champ. She's not a bum, but I mean, Shevchenko's just been dispatching losers in the flyweight division.
Is it Andrade still fighting at strawweight?
No, Andrade. She whooped what's her name?
Caitlin Chukagian, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Body shot.
For one contender at flyweight.
Right. She definitely is getting the next title shot. I know that. Because Dana White said it last time he was talking about her.
Or Shevchenko fights Wei Li Zhang for like a champ fight. That I'd watch that.
Oh, that would be a great fight.
I'd be great, but I want Shevchenko Nunes.
Yeah.
Nunes is gonna beat the Avatar, and then Shevchenko's gonna just tactfully destroy whoever comes her way, and these two have to fight again. They have to. I don't care which way you swing it. Nunes lost one of the fights. Okay, I don't care what those judges say.
Like, honestly, Megan Anderson, I had high hopes for her coming into the UFC because I watched a lot of her fights, and she knocks out a lot of girls as well. Great range, great height, great body type for MMA. But I don't know what's been going on in UFC with her.
I agree. I'm with you 100%, bro.
She's a natural featherweight. Like
Yes.
I had high hopes for her too. She's
That's
not
what
like
excited me, you know?
Yeah, she's not a bloated welterweight just moving up. You know, she's actually like a big girl. I think she's over.
Well,
6
what is she,
feet
like
tall.
11 feet tall? I think something.
11
Of course
feet.
she's a natural featherweight.
Yeah, from Amazonia. That's the flag she has in the octagon.
Her opponent got to come in with stilts, like, what's up, bitch?
Listen, you get submitted by Felicia Spencer. It, it might be time to
Well,
pursue different avenues.
but didn't Megan have a knockout recently? Her last fight, didn't she like
I
win
believe
by
so.
pressure on knockout or something like that?
Her last fight was phenomenal. She did great.
Yeah.
So I know that. That's why she got the title.
Maybe that's what you needed for the confidence.
That's not why she got
Nunes.
the title. That's not why she got the title. Like a women's featherweight is the weakest division in the world.
Because it's Nunes and Megan. And Spencer, maybe. That's it. That's the whole fucking division.
Yeah, Holly Holm in there. You got Durandamy. I mean,
But Holly Holm is a bantamweight.
You got some bums with no wiki pages. I mean,
We're talking about actual featherweights. There's probably 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And Durandamy, Durandamy also looked good too her last fight. With that submission.
Yeah, but she's got the Carlos Condit effect. She cannot stuff a takedown to save her life.
Yeah.
You're not gonna survive in the top without that, because her striking is phenomenal. I was hot on Jermaine Durandamy too, but if you're not gonna all day, every day drill that takedown defense, like tell your teammates, show up out of nowhere when I'm with my kids and tackle me. Like that's the commitment you need. You know?
Like those Kimbo slice tackles. Remember when Kimbo would pay dudes like $500 and just spear them on the football field? You need to get like baby slice in there to just shoot for a takedown.
Yo, can we
baby slice?
Can we talk Hooker and Chandler, bro?
Yeah.
I thought that was going somewhere else.
No, he said Hooker.
Start with Hooker right there.
Yo.
Because you were in Colombia too long, bro.
Yeah.
He heard Hooker. He's like, Medellin.
Yeah, yes! I'm having flashbacks to Medellin.
Yo,
oh man.
What do you feel about Chandler's first fight being Hooker? Like, how you feel about it?
I think it's a bad night for him because Hooker is the evolution of MMA, and Chandler is kind of like someone who is fighting between generations. So I think he's just gonna find himself on the wrong side. I think he's gonna find himself on the wrong side of that evolution.
That war.
Yeah, because
that's an excellent way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because Chandler is good enough to fight in the new generation, but can he make that jump? Can he, And then you look at Chandler, a lot of his losses come by TKO. And Hooker likes to kill people.
Yeah.
Hooker's an assassin. So
but Chandler lately, if you watch this fight, it kind of reminds me of like Woodley. Like he picks his shot a lot more.
He's very chill, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he's not engaging in a lot of.
The difference is he wins.
Yeah.
Damn, shots fired.
I think he's like, what is he, 3-4 or 4-5 in his last fights? So he winning.
But
it's like he's not winning against bums either.
Yeah, exactly. And Hooker though, the experience that he's gained in the last year or so, the people he's fought, also the team he's from, training with Izzy, all that stuff, that works in his favor. So I have to go with Hooker as well.
And I think that war with Dustin made him hungrier. Dustin Poirier, man. Jesus.
I watched that fight earlier today. I watched that fight.
Remember at the end, he walks up to him while he's down. He said, "You're gonna break my face, right? You get there one day, boy." Like he was just talking wild shit in the nicest way.
Did you peep that Hooker crawled over to him? Like he crawled
got up
to
and he's
him.
just like, and then Poirier like slaps him on the side. He's like, "Yeah, good shit, boy." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever you're saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like it was just crazy.
Yeah. No, but I think that fight made him like way better though.
Yeah. Hooker's definitely gonna be a problem. I don't know if I ever see him with the strap in that division. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a weird. Yeah, that's another division that's just like a hell division. Like that and welterweight is just ridiculous.
But I tell you, if he starts his Chandler, right? Conor McGregor starts his Poirier. Conor versus Hooker would be a fantastic interim or title fight, you know?